Bhakyanusandhi. Constantly contemplating upon the objects outside, so that your hold upon the subject is lost. The spiritual student is seeking to realize and understand the subject. The subject is something other than the objects. So, Bhakyanusandhi, Anusandhanam, continuous, worrying about or panting for acquiring objects of the world outside for the immediate pleasure. So long as the mind is thus engaged with the outer world, how can it turn its attention to the higher? Therefore, Bhakyanusandhi parivardhayed bhalam. Oh, you didn't read it. Come on. Read.
Bhakyanusandhi parivardhayed phalam. Durvasanameva tatasthatokdhikam. Jnatva vivekaih parihritya bahyam. Svatmanusandhim vidadhita nityam.
So Bhakyanusandhi, when you are contemplating thus with desire and ego, with selfish desires in order to enjoy, when your mind's attention is turned outward, the result will come. And the effects of it is durvasana. Negative sensuous vasanas will be increased, because with ego and egocentric desires you are hanging on to these world of objects. Therefore, those vasanas will be created, the result of it, and these vasanas will be negative. Negative meaning creating more and more sensuous desires, and therefore more and more the mind runs after it. It becomes thus a vicious circle, just as when you cigarette smoking or drinking, when you start it, you can't stop it. It increases. That vasana, that instinct increases. Thus, durvasanameva tatastato adhikam, constantly increasing this durvasana, this wrong tendency. Once you start it, it continues. And it cuts deeper and deeper into you. Just as water flowing in the mountain, if it is running in one direction, first it is drop by drop, slowly a strong stream. But within a few years, these water flowing slowly removes it and becomes deeper and deeper a canal, a pool, as they call it here. And the pool, if you allow water to flow in, it takes away more and more the sand and becomes a rivulet. Allow the rivulet to go further. It becomes still deeper, deeper, deeper. Now, when it is flowing on the surface, a thin stream, you can control it, you can redirect it. But once it has become a gorge, cut deeper into it, you can do nothing about it. A sensuous thought. You encourage it a little more, slowly, it cuts into your system until at last it becomes a gorge, a tendency becomes a vasana, the vasana becomes a samskara, samskara becomes a character, and thereafterwards you can't come out of it. You can never educate Ravana. He's a god. All that you can say is, go home. We can do nothing about it. Why? It has become a character that is not his fault. He cannot think anything other than that lie. A drunkard by evening 6 o'clock can think nothing in the world except his drink. It's called a character. It has become not only a tendency, it was a tendency before, a desire, a tendency. Then slowly became, I would like to get it if I can, but that's all. If I am not, it's all right. That is a tendency. There afterwards, without that I can't live. I must. A man may walk even 14 kilometers to get the drink. It becomes a part of his character. Thus, once the anusandhan, continuous contemplation upon the outer world, dhyayato vishayan pumsa, the same thing, it becomes a tendency. And these vulgar, sensuous, extrovert tendencies become deeper and deeper, adhikam. Therefore, jnatva, having understood this mechanism of your human personality, vivekaihi, those who have got the vivek, the discriminative power to discriminate between the unreal, the ever-changing, and the permanent, the eternal. Parihritya bahyam, reject this tendency of your mind to contemplate upon the sensuous objects and their skin-deep pleasure. Not bliss or happiness, but just a pleasure. Parihritya bahyam swatmana sandhim. Turn your mind's attention to swa, your own atma anusandhim. Continuous contemplation upon the nature of the reality. Vidadhi the nityam, consistently practice it, nityam, daily. Not Sunday religion. Hinduism is not Sunday religion. It is to transform your entire personality. It is to be a constant endeavor to maintain the sense of holiness and constant assertion that I am not a petty, paltry, sensuous, cheap guy like any worm in the gutter, thinking nothing but eating and bleeding. But there is something greater purpose in life, and strive on all the time, centering yourself in, not really thinking only, centering yourself in this essence, live on in the world. Just as you generally, while acting in the world outside, however thick the situation be, you don't forget that I am son of my father. So if you have got really a pride to the family, a respect and reverence to your father, no doubt you will have to sometimes compromise in life, but there is a lower limit. Not a step beyond that. Why? Because I am the son of my father. I belong to that family, or I belong to that Hindu culture, where I belong, I am an Indian. That pride must come, which is developed by consistently thinking of the glory of that life or that value of life.
बाह्ये निरुद्धे मनसः प्रसन्नता निरुद्धे मनसः प्रसन्नता मनः प्रसादे परमात्मदर्शनम् तस्मिन् सुदृष्टे भवबन्धनाशः सुदृष्टे भवबन्धनाशः बहिर्निरोधः पदवी विमुक्तेः निरोधः पदवी विमुक्तेः.
Ahye niruddhe. Why are you insisting upon this unnatural living? Everybody around me, the entire community, the entire humanity, 100% or 99.9% of people, they are living only in the extrovert. And you are advising me that just because I made the mistake of joining you as a brahmachari. What crime have I done that you are making me live an unnatural life? Why? Don't turn your attention outward. Why? And that is the most difficult thing also. Leave me alone. Let me live a natural life. Why this insistence? There may be students. Now he is explaining to you the logic. Bahye niruddhe sati. When this bahya flow or outer flow, the extrovertedness of the mind running after sense gratifications, niruddhe, when it is stopped, not allowed to go, manasa prasanna. Mind thinking of objects are called thoughts. A thought must have an object, and conscious of an object or consciousness of an object is called a thought. So thought must have two factors, the object, the nama-rupa, and consciousness is a thought. When these objects are removed or minimized, thought itself becomes consciousness. Because thought is object plus consciousness. Conscious of an object is called a thought. This is the anatomy of a thought. A thought consists of two factors, object and consciousness. When the mind is no more allowed to go freedom and the total freedom and complete freedom to go into sense objects and maintain the thoughts of the objects, the agitations of the mind is more and more. Why? More and more thoughts are rising in the mind. Okay. So, bahye niruddhe sati. When the outflowing attention is withdrawn, no more entertaining as many objects as before, the mind's stormy condition of agitations is reduced. Not that there are no agitations, relatively. And it is that what you are now saying. Your Swamiji, Siddhavadi, what is there? No, their reality, God is thickly available. Other places, very diluted. He is homogeneous. He is the same everywhere. But when you have arranged everything and then left home and came here, relatively, themes of thoughts are reduced. There are worries even here. If you have not got it, Lognaz will supply. Bathroom में no water is there, but mug is not there, all is there. Plate it clean नहीं है. There will be. So long as there is the mind and intellect, there will be objects. The ego and the objects can never be there, but reduced. There if it was 10,493 thoughts per second, Here it is about 100. Oh, Param Shanti. Extreme peaceful life. I don't want to go back again. Why? Because but if you have learned the art of quietening the mind, any place you go, that is heaven. Because you are nearer the pure state of consciousness, the bliss absolute. Joy and happiness is not created by circumstances or situations or people or things. We are not dependent upon the world. World is dependent upon me. World has no existence if I don't exist. If consciousness is not there, where is the world? So then, when these thoughts are reduced, Bahye niruddhe manasa prasanna, mind feels very happy. In the vacation, holidays, happy. Students or children generally say that, vacation has come now, happy. And then one day they say that tomorrow onwards classes are starting. Worry, anxiety, what the teacher will say, I have to study, and I don't want to study. Okay? Not that in the vacation time you have not got thoughts, but it's reduced. The field is reduced, right? Manaprasade, and when the mind is quiet, sattvic, rajas and tamas to that extent has been reduced. When rajas, the agitations of the mind is reduced to that extent, tamas is reduced because tamas is the cause. Rajas is, the agitations of the mind is the effect. When the effects are controlled, the cause also gets controlled. So sattva predominates. The sattvic mind, to the sattvic mind, clearer and clearer perceptions is revealed of the nature of the reality. Manaprasade paramartha darshanam. Darshanam not by the eyes. Not that the Paramatma will unnecessarily enter into your house when you are busy and then say, hi. Oh, darshan. That's nice. Unfolding of a peace and tranquility in your mind. You can't explain it. It's, I don't know why I'm feeling so happy. Paramartha darshanam. Direct experience of the higher state. Tasmin sudrishte. When that Paramatma state is sudrishte. Not just saw him. I think I saw him passing by. That is one way. The other is, the fellow was throughout the morning with me. Boring. That is called sudrishta. Seen him so completely and exhaustively, all sides of him. Sudrishte. Similarly, when you are fully engaged, fully in that state of consciousness, bhavabandhanashaha, the ego ends. Because the dreamer has become woken up from the ego, has awakened to that state of consciousness. When you have thus moved from our present state of consciousness to God's state of consciousness, the higher state of consciousness, bhavabandhanashaha, all your contacts, all your curtailment or shackles created by your passions and lusts and desires, by your attachment to the world of objects, all end. The sorrows of the dream end the moment you wake up. Behir nirodha. Therefore, behir nirodha padavi vimukte, underline. Behir nirodha, to quieten our minds gushing out into the world outside, is padavi is the state. Vimukte, total liberation. Achieved when? When all my agitations, all my extrovertedness have ended. All that you have to do is, your mind and intellect, halt! Right about her. Ho gaya, moksha ho gaya. No, Swamiji, but how can I turn it? This, let me over this also, this problem also, that problem. I got so many problems, you see. Everybody, so many problems. And without me, the family will collapse, the society will collapse, the country will collapse, the world itself, I don't know where will be. Buddhu. ये सब देखने वाला एक है. He who created it, let it be his responsibility to maintain it and look out. In case I am an extrovert, let me not waste my time. Try to do some good to some people sometime. That is all. But it is not because what you did that the world is running. The world is improved. I improved the world. Shut up. You wretch, what can you do? Now, in Greek literature there is one, a fly sitting on the axle of the chariot, and the axle never moves. The wheel moves around the axle. On the axle he is sitting there, and he says, Rekha, how much dust I am raising. If I don't sit here, the chariot will stop. Similarly, you and I, sitting in his lap, trying to improve him or his creation, is all laughable, childish, stupid idea. But what else will I do? If I don't do good things in the world, the other choice that I have got is make everybody weep in the world. So the choice is between the good and the bad. I try to do as much good as possible. Thereby I don't congratulate myself. I did it. Do you know who did it? If I were not here, this ashram would have collapsed. This country would have collapsed. This nation would have collapsed. This world itself, I don't know. I am history making. Param Buddhu, when that is removed, you are in pure state of consciousness. Vimukte. So vimukti ke liye, what is the padavi? That state of vimukti is, you have withdrawn totally from your mind, totally from entertaining the objects of the world outside. When is it that you are awake? When you are moved away from the dream totally. In the same way, this is the padavi of of total freedom. And what is that padavi? Withdrawing totally from your mind wandering into the sense objects of pleasure.
Kah pandita sansada sadviveki Shruti pramana paramarthadarshi Janan hi kuryada sato valambam Swapata heto shishuvan mumukshuhu
Yah Pandita. Who is that? Pandita, highly educated man, erudite scholar, who has studied it in Kashi, Jaipur, high, Sanskrit, glu 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 glu, comes out through all holes. Param Pandit. Kah Panditaha, son being a Pandit, Sadasad Viveki. And not only that, he is just a teacher, a student, studied a lot of it, but he has got a clear picture of Sat and Asat. Sat and Asat, the real and the unreal. the permanent and the impermanent, the ever-changing phenomena and the substratum. He has got a clear picture of it. That this ever-changing waking world of plurality is not the real, but there is a substratum, very permanent state of consciousness. Common denominator. GCM. What is that in mathematics? LCM. That is least. GCM is? Okay. There are different opinions because I allowed democracy to come. That's all. If only I said the GCM, they would have said yes, yes. Greater mean something, GCM, greater common means. Never mind. Thus, that which is common in all experiences, waking, dream and deep sleep, is this consciousness. And he has got a picture of, not that he has experienced, but he knows, understands. Not that he has understood only the textbook, repeating chamakam, rudra, what does it mean? How do I know? This is not mere repetition. That's also a pandit, no doubt. Much better than you all. You can't even repeat it. He has learned to repeat it. That is the first stage. Then understand the meaning. And then having understood the meaning, you try to think over it and say, oh, so this is unreal, this is real. Those who have sadasad viveki shruti pramana, and he has understood all the pramana, all the arguments provided by the great rishis from the scriptures, paramarthadarshi, and he can very clearly see, not that he has actually realized, but he can clearly see in the intellect beyond a trace of doubt. He is convinced that there is a changeless, immutable subject without whom all these objective experience would have been null and void. They have no validity. They are all invalidated because of the presence of this consciousness, this paramarthadarshi. Ka pandita? That is the question. Who is that great erudite scholar who has the discrimination between the real and the unreal, who knows the Shrutis arguments in fulfilling, intellectually convincing of the presence of a great reality, the subject, and he has clearly seen the paramartha, the real artha, the true meaning of life, the essence of living. Jananhik kuryad asato avalambalam. Having known it, who is that pandit who will asat, the non-real, ever-changing, the material world, the sensuous world, hold on to them? Who is that fool who, having known all this, the others excused because they don't know it. They are animals. When an animal does something, we don't say anything. A dog on the roadside, when he saw the lamppost, he stopped there and did what a decent dog should do. Now you may be the sanitary inspector in that road, but don't say that, hey, what are you doing? You don't say that. Why? He doesn't know it. He felt that he did it. And even if the dog can talk, shut up. 3 posts I covered. I controlled, but the 4th post I could not control. You understand? There is no such. Like that, the human being, just live, I can't control, I can't control. So whenever you feel that there is a certain urge coming in your mind, you can't control, close your eyes and meditate upon a dog standing on three legs. Then you will understand, yeah, this is what I am doing. You understand? Acha. Now, Janai Kuryad Asato Avalamban. You hold on to this asat, the unreal, ever-changing world of plurality. Swapata heto. This is the, you are doing suicide, committing suicide. Swapata, the fall, your own fault. You are doing, you are seeking shishuvad mumukshu. So he is a seeker, no doubt, seeking the moksha. But he is doing it, holding on to this. It is like a child committing something in his stupidity, a harm to itself. The child doesn't know that discrimination. Therefore, whenever a child is doing something, the mother comes and then immediately put the finger into the mouth and remove it and say that, why are you collecting garbage on your mouth? The child is doing experiments. He wants to know what this is. And the only way he can know is in his laboratory. The only laboratory available for him is. So whatever he gets, he puts it in the mouth. Whether it is a radio, a photograph, a book, whatever you give it to him, he wants to know what it is. And what is the method of reading? Put it in the mouth. That is all the way to he can know what it is all about. In the same way, this man who has studied everything like a baby, still holding on to the petty, paltry things of the world outside, he is committing harakiri upon himself. In his intention in life is moksha, but he can never gain anything about it.
Dehadi samsakti mato na muktihi.
Dehadi samsakti
mato na muktihi. Muktasya dehadi abhimatya bhavaha. Abhimatya bhavaha. Suptasya no jagaranam na jagrataha. Jagaranam na jagrataha. Swapnastayorbhinna gunashrayatvat. Swapnastayorbhinna gunashrayatvat.
Dehadi samsakti mataha. One who has got extreme attachment to body, etc. Body, etc., the panchakoshas. That is our way of living right now. To such an individual, na mukti. We can give him a guarantee, a certificate. What? You will never get mukti. Guaranteed. Swami Chinmayananda. Why? Because you are too much attached with your body, the panchakoshas. So long as you are attached to it, you are in this level of consciousness, you cannot go into the higher. Na mukti. Muktasya. Why do you say so? Because to one who is mukta, liberated, dehadya abhimana abhavat. To such an individual, there is no more any abhimana, any vanity that I am the body, mind, intellect. He is no more identified with the body, mind, intellect. Just as when you are woken up from the sleep, you are no more identified with the dream body. But so long as you are identified with the dream body, the dream continues. So then here, muktasya dehadya abhimatya bhavaha. There is no abhiman in him. He is in a new dimension of consciousness. Suptasya no jagaranam. It is known that you can't have at the same time remain in two planes of consciousness. The one who is sleeping, he is not experiencing the waking world jagarana. Impossible. Though I was sleeping, I knew what you were doing in my room. Then you are not sleeping. And if you are really sleeping, the first part is true, the second part is a lie. See? You did not know what I did in your room. You are trying to frighten me. But you were sleeping. Yes, I was sleeping. But I came to know what you are doing in the room. Either he was not sleeping, that is a falsehood, or he was sleeping, he could not have seen what I did in the room. Jagaran. So that here, suptasya no jagaranam. Similarly, na jagrata swapnatayoho. Swapna, those who are doing swapna, dreaming. Because of dreaming, I saw that I am drowning in the Atlantic Ocean, in the dream. My wife is dry and miserable, lying down next to me. I knew you were very dry and lying in the bed, but I was in the Atlantic Ocean drowning. You had no sympathy. You should have run there and saved me, but you never did it. And she says, what do I know what you are doing? I only thought that you are also comfortably lying down and you are sleeping. So I have no sleep at all because I can't sleep. I mean, sleep did not come to me. But you are sleeping, therefore I did not disturb you. That is all. You should have disturbed me. You are awake. Why didn't you know that I have been drowning there? So you wanted me to drown and therefore you are waiting. You are disappointed. I came out of it. You can't say that. Jagrata Purusha cannot share at the same time the dream. The dreamer and the waker are not there in deep sleep. These are all depending upon the equipment. When you are identified with a gross body, you are in the waking state. When you are withdrawn from the body, you are not conscious of your body, but you are functioning through your mind and intellect, the subtle body, you are in the dream world. And when you are not identified either with this subtle body, you are in the causal body, experiencing deep sleep, pure non-apprehension. You are in your own old vasana unmanifest. See that? Therefore, jagarano swapna tayor bhinna gunashrayatvad. Why? Because they are, in all the three states, you are ashraya, you are depending upon three different equipments. In the gross body, you are the waker. So long as you are conscious of the body, you are in the waking world. You gather and harvest all your experience of the waking world. The moment you leave your contact with the body, beginning of sleep, but you are functioning through the mind and intellect because the subtle body has not slept. You project whatever the subconscious mind has got and a dream. Well, you have drawn from that also. You are no more functioning in the gross or the subtle body, but you are in the causal body. There you experience sleep. So when you are in the higher state of consciousness, all these three equipments are not there, therefore experience of the waking dream and deep sleep are not in that state. It is unique, vilakshana, not like waking dream or deep sleep. It is a state differently. Therefore, those who are holding on to the physical body and the panchakoshas, they have no moksha. Just as when you say, so long as you are awake, you cannot sleep. If you want to sleep, stop your activities, lie down, relax, and learn to forget everything, wanting nothing but sleep. You glide into sleep. Even when you are dreaming through the subtle body, you have no consciousness of the gross body. It is at that time that your wife lovingly turn with her elbow between your ribs. She is sleeping also. Ah! Woke up. She kicked me. Ah! It is painful, but I am grateful to her. Why? She saved me from the dream. The dream, then you became conscious of the body. It's a totally different world. In the same way, when three bodies are transcended, when your mind has become quiet and completely, you are in a new dimension of consciousness, where none of these things are there. Therefore, the teacher so graciously gave you the certificate that so long as you are identified with these gross bodies, one thing is certain, there is no moksha for you. Hey, you can improve your body, you can improve your mind, you can improve your intellect, become one of the greatest genius in the world. Yes, yes, and some thoda paisa. Yes, you can do that, but no moksha. In order to gain that direct experience of pure self, you have to give up temporarily at that time. No more contact with the outer world. Just as in deep sleep, in order to go to sleep, you leave all contacts. In order to reach there, all these all these experience of the world plurality is to be ended consciously. And that effort is called contemplation.